you choose to share your talent, time, and heart with a child. Together, you can build a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future, 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello.
Angela, we have to break up.
But why?
Because you're a robot and I'm just a guy trying to get better internet.
It's Ella Fiber, isn't it? I always knew you wanted faster speeds. My contract isn't good enough for you.
Face it, Angela, they let me talk to real people.
Press 4 to break my heart. Oh wait, you already did.
Visit allofiber.com to switch today.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Garage doors can be expensive. Are you keeping yours in the best condition possible? This is Cameron Hall with Doors Plus. Doors Plus is a locally owned business that prides itself on the fast, reliable, and friendly service. Doors Plus offers flexible scheduling so you can book an appointment that fits your busy day. My team and I will come out to your property, both commercial and residential, and provide you with the necessary information you need to make sure your garage door is in working and smooth condition. Give Doors Plus a call today at 402-590-5800 to book an appointment and learn more about our preventative maintenance plans. Doors Plus, garage doors, and more.
Are you looking to get into the electrical construction industry or wanting a new scene? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models and all different colors available, and we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from, plus qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talk to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Honda, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos as always. If you guys want to join in on the show as we're debuting Off the Field with Kendall Lanier, if I'm saying that right. Yep. Kendall Lanier. So if you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. That is the Sartor Heyman text line. And if you want to put a face to the voice, use the streams, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, X, and as always, Allo Channel 961. So since this is the debut of the show, we're going to have Kendall's parents hop in on that second and third segment. But for this first one, we're just going to figure out what Off the Field is because this is going to be regular programming for you guys at 8 o'clock on Wednesday. So, Kendall, I'll bring you in here. What is Off the Field? What is the real kind of design of this show? And what are we trying to give to the people on a regular basis?
Yeah. So I was always interested in sports because of the stories off the field. Not to be punny, but just people's personalities and that like go into how they play the sport. I watched No Place Like Nebraska this weekend, and so many like out of the game, off the court topics and conversations that will probably affect the way they play this upcoming season. So I think it's cool to dive into the person and what they do in the community, how they were raised, that really impact the way they play the game. So that's kind of the overall theme. And so it'll be very interview based, whether that's Nebraska players, past Nebraska players. So it really just depends. No guideline on who we'll have on the show, but the overall topic will be who they are outside of the game.
Yeah. And, we have our own thoughts here as Derek Pearson has let it be heard on the airwaves before, because we've had a lot of Ticket Weeknight shows for those exact reasons you're talking about. But why is it to you important to have that narrative behind the athlete, behind just the stat sheet and the box score? Why is it important in your case to have the narrative behind the player and like who they actually are?
Yeah. I mean, I think in today's recent climate, especially with women's sports and so many different things, we've seen this to be like very true, that you never know what a person is going through. You may not realize why they're so like fired up and show so much personality in the game. Maybe they're just like a really fiery person, and maybe they had different struggles growing up or whatever, so I feel like it's important for people to get like a full perspective of who they are. And so maybe they better understand them and can better be a more supportive fan, or just kind of find a way to relate to them. And I feel like most of my favorite athletes, I can relate to them in some type of way because of the way they are outside of the game. It's cool to watch them shoot baskets, score touchdowns and stuff like that. But I'm like, oh, like we have the same interests. That's kind of like why I like them. Or they talk a certain way in a press conference and they made these jokes. Like, that's why I like them, So I feel like the fan base goes into more than just who they are in the game.
Yeah, that's certainly true. The biggest example I always bring up when we talk about this is I always think about the demise of boxing and how UFC just overtook it. And the big reason for me is like boxing kind of lost the ability, or maybe just not the ability, lack of effort of like telling the stories behind the boxers. Whereas UFC, I mean, they started this TV show. I'm blanking on the name of it right now. I'll give you a Salt Dogs voucher if you guys can throw it out there. 402-464-5685. But they started these TV shows with these fighters all in the same house, and they really started giving them like a lot of TV time, as well as just reporting on top of it what their backgrounds were. And that's how you get guys like Khabib, Conor McGregor. I mean, Conor McGregor took over, but really just selling like who they are beyond just the sport. And then you just see this massive success. And now UFC is still going strong. Yeah. So on top of that, were you always an athlete growing up? Were you in the media? Like, where was the kind of upbringing for you to get involved in sports?
So I started as a dancer. I was a ballet dancer my whole life. Like, did nutcrackers, did performances all the way up until college. So I did like every sport when I was younger, and then like really found dance to just align with everything I wanted to do. I wanted to be on stage and really just like tell the story of the performance. And so I think that's kind of led me to broadcasting because I like to be in front of people and be in that entertaining role. So now it kind of looks in a different way. But I think the sports piece came a lot from my family because my sister played lacrosse in college. My dad played football. Grandpa played football. So very sports family and
Mhm.
parents would like coach my childhood team. So it was just kind of always expected that we would be in some type of sport. So just being around the game kind of like fueled my passion for it and just the energy. There's nothing like it. So I knew I wanted to stay close to the game.
And then at what point were you getting to the era? Because obviously, if the name's familiar, 10-11 News as well, you might have seen her there. But when did you realize you kind of got a knack for this, where it's something that you're becoming more confident in? And I mean, you got your radio show here tonight that's debuting, to where you're looking at this like I can make a real career out of this.
Yeah. I think probably not till college, like high school, you do like newspaper,
Yep.
just kind of generic things. But college was when I was like, okay, I first started in writing and then I was like, I want to do more with it. And I feel like I personally kind of get to know the person better when I'm hearing them and seeing the visuals. So I liked that like visual component with it. So I think about junior year, I did a bunch of different internships and like I went to New York and spent a lot of time there and just to be in like that environment where like TV and broadcast is so big. Um,
So
I
you're up in New York. Sorry, that sounds interesting.
yeah. Well,
For an internship.
I interned at Good Morning America. So that was like a
Okay,
cool
cool.
like
Yeah.
yeah. And I think that's what made like the switch like, oh, I'm not doing anything else. Like,
Yeah,
like
that's a good start.
yeah.
Absolutely.
It was very like crazy to see, number one morning show, just it's very intense, but it was like I really liked the rush and the energy of it. And maybe that's kind of why it like relates to sports because there's so much like on your quick on your feet, that kind of thing. So yeah, junior year, I was like, I love to be in New York and just be on TV. And so that's kind of where the dream started.
Yeah, and then where are you from originally?
Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Missouri. So you mentioned this thing really took off and you got to college. Obviously, New York helped a lot, kind of putting that thing as a real goal for you. But why Nebraska in particular, and end up in Lincoln, Nebraska, pursuing this?
Yeah. Well, being not far from home, like always knew about Nebraska football. Growing up in Kansas City, knew of Will Shields. Like he's a big family friend of mine, so he was kind of like my first personal introduction to Nebraska. So when I was applying for the job, I'm like, okay, I have some familiarity with football, and then I have a lot of friends who play volleyball at different schools, but they always talked about how big Nebraska volleyball was. So I'm like, the sports are great. There's really, I feel like this will be a perfect place to start my career because people care so much about the sports and, it will really help me just kind of be in a place with so much history and knowledge about sports. So I could do a lot of different things with it.
Yeah, and then in terms of when it comes to your, I don't want to say fan, but when it comes to trying to figure out the best stories to cover, how does that go in your process? Because football is kind of king, right?
Yeah.
Around here, but volleyball's got its own. But then you have these other programs where if you're not paying attention, you might miss women's soccer,
Yeah.
just being absolutely dominant. They've made a really deep run in the playoffs. So when it comes to like covering teams, players in particular, how do you go about that process?
hmm I mean, I've been especially drawn to women's basketball lately, of course, and or softball. I mean, I think just like people who have first of all, I'm drawn to like their personality and maybe if they have like a really big celebration, I'm like, "Oh, like that's cool that's something that makes them stand out." So,
Mm-hmm.
I look for that and then just kind of like their background. The soccer players have a lot of international athletes. So I'm always interested in that like, what made you come to Nebraska of all places? So, just thinking like there's always like just a small thing that can connect people from all over the world. So, looking for those different stories that you might not hear on the everyday basis.
And then, real quick, before we go ahead and wrap up this first segment, tease what we got on the other side. What's one of the coolest or most fun stories that you've been a part of so far?
Ooh, I mean, Volleyball Day in Nebraska was like,
Yeah, that's pretty
hard to
good.
top that. Just like that was my first I got here July of 2023, so that was just I was a month in and being introduced to Nebraska sports in that way was like, wow, national media attention. No one else in the world is doing that. It was like, wow, I really am in the right place I need to be, just because there are so many eyes on it that you may have not expected. And I think that was really like my first introduction. Like, Nebraska is really it for sports. So I love that.
Yeah, that's a great one because Iowa tried to copy it afterward.
Yeah.
It was, I don't want to say it was unsuccessful. It was pretty cool, but did not nearly feel it as much as Nebraska did.
Right.
But with that being said, we're going to throw it to our first break here. Before we do that, Kendall, who do we got first from your parents that we're going to have on this second segment?
My dad will be first. His name's Willie Lanier Jr., so I'm excited to talk to him.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll learn more about Kendall's family and from her dad herself. So don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling. The debut of Off the Field with Kendall Lanier. We'll keep it rolling here on Ticket Weeknights.
Whether you like fishing together or fishing to get away, for the thrill of reeling in a big one, or just going out to have a good time, on the banks of your local pond, at a bend in a river, or on one of our many lakes and reservoirs, you'll always find the perfect place to cast a line, here, beneath Nebraska skies. Start planning your next fishing adventure today at letsfishnebraska.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
A new school year is here with summer coming to an end, and it's time to get into proper shoes. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this August with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $15 off any regular priced athletic shoe with respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, and On Running. Don't forget, Browns carries a large arrangement of sizes and widths to fit your feet properly. Start the fall season off right with the August athletic shoe sale at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66th and Q in Lincoln.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Have you ever gotten a car deal so good that you can brag about for decades? This is that deal. The government has given us a $4,000 instant credit on vehicles already at the historically lowest prices. Cars that were over $50,000 just 2 years ago are now selling below $20,000. See the deals here and drive away the car of your dreams at a price you never thought possible. Go to 4000off.com, 400off.com to learn more.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
LES is proud to be powered by your family, your friends, your neighbors, local people serving local people. Learn more about what a career at LES can offer you at les.com/careers.
Early break. And then a week after retirement, he was flipping burgers in a what would you call that truck? A
food truck?
Food truck.
What kind of truck would that be with food in it?
Words are hard.
What is that? There's a truck. They show up. They show up at noon, and then they drive in, and it's a food. Oh, I can't put it together. I can't get this food truck.
Food truck.
Early break from 6 to 8 every weekday morning on 93.7 The Ticket.
In today's digital landscape, the security of your business is non-negotiable. That's why you need better cybersecurity solutions. At Hamilton, we make it our business to protect your network, data, and digital assets with the latest in cybersecurity technology. Our dedicated team of experts has the technology in place to protect what matters most to you and your business. Stay ahead of cyber threats with better cybersecurity protection. Hire Hamilton at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Bagels and Joe is the perfect place for breakfast or lunch in August. Try their chocolate chip banana bread muffins for a great summer breakfast, or enjoy a bagel with pesto cream cheese. Don't forget the Joe Card membership. Unlimited drip coffee for just $8.95 per person per month. 4 locations in Lincoln and 1 in Seward. Bagels and Joe.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. Now through September 2nd, enjoy Labor Day specials like 8-ounce USDA choice whole beef brisket for $3.99 per pound and Wagyu brisket for $12.99 per pound. Fresh Duroc whole pork butt for $2.88 per pound, extra meaty loin back ribs for $3.88 per pound, and fresh cut chicken wings for $4.88 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Back to the Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in to Ticket Weeknights. Harrison Arns on the 1s and 2s. As always, this is the debut of Off the Field with Kendall Lanier. We got a guest on the Allo VIP line where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. So with the house cleaning out of the way, and again, of course, use the streams if you guys want to join in. Kendall, who do we got first on the Allo VIP line?
Yes, first we have my dad, Willie Lanier Jr. Yeah, how are you?
They're doing good.
I know. I sprung this on him. I'm like, hey, you're going to be on the radio tonight. So, but we were just talking about the idea of the show Off the Field, and I mentioned how you were an athlete in college, and I know you always talk about now about how that shaped your discipline and everything you do in your career. So how do you think being an athlete really helped you become who you are today?
Well, clearly it started with time management. In order to be an athlete, everything is scripted on time and you have to perform on time. Coaches didn't like when you weren't timely. Either you were timely to meetings, timely to game time, timely to study hall, whatever it is, it brought time management, it brought discipline, it brought an understanding that you can push through the hard times when you're fatigued and tired and so forth. It put a lot of life skills on the table in front of me to understand how to, live life after sports.
And how much of what you kind of had going on in the locker room with your teammates really helped show in the game? I know I just was telling him that we watched No Place Like Nebraska this weekend and saw everything they had going on outside of the game that'll probably make them stronger this year. What was that like for you?
Well, I think every team, every organization, be it sports or in just a general society, has a network that people lean on to accomplish a task. So if you look in the military or sports, when you're not on the battlefield, so to speak, you're getting a camaraderie, you're understanding, you're strengthening, you're seeing how your teammates prepare, what they do to maximize their skill sets and their effort on game day. So most people see game time as the part that really produces the final product in terms of the way you play, but it's not just practice. It's the bonding behind the scenes. It's the understanding. It's knowing that I got my brother or my sister beside me, and we can go to battle and accomplish the task of competing the best we can on the field, on the court.
Yeah. And even though I didn't end up playing sports, growing up, we were always around sports. You coached one of my basketball teams. So, why is it no surprise to you? Why was it important to you, I guess, for me and my sister Cameron to grow up around the game of sports and you knew that it could teach us so much outside of the game?
Well, I can just go based off of my past experience as a young kid. I was fortunate to meet a wife who was also athletic in her early years in high school and so forth. And I think that was just became a basic staple of our family's foundation. And so we want to make sure we expose these type of opportunities to both of our kids so that they could have a chance to get rooted in the same characteristics and principles that we were. So I know that you didn't play as many sports, but you still use the same qualities and skill sets in your world of dance and the performing arts. It took mental clarity. It took being scrutinized daily. You had to think about your techniques and all of those things. That is exactly what athletes do, and it's really no difference when you look at the performing arts world as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And Willie, I'm stepping in here. Harrison Arms on the board for this show with Kendall. And since this is the debut of her show, at least on 93.7 The Ticket, people are getting to know her a little bit. So what are some attributes about Kendall that everybody should know about? Some positive attributes that you've witnessed as she's grown up?
Yeah, she clearly has the capacity to be an individual. She's strong. She will stand by herself and make a decision. So when that camera comes on, we are not surprised that she's ready to go. She's so comfortable and being an individual, and I think that's a rare trait in team sports. Although you get a lot of attributes, most people play a team sport and they don't have to perform by themselves, which is why we admire people like Serena Williams and other individual track stars and even Simone Biles. It is all or none for them. And I think Kendall possesses some of the same attributes when you see some of those nationally known, world-renowned athletes. I think she has some of the same characteristics.
Absolutely. And yeah, I can agree with you because this, again, I got to say, this is the debut of the show. And if you're listening for the first time, you might assume this might be her 10th, 20th, 100th show at this point. You're not noticing the nerves. When she was growing up, did you kind of notice this demeanor in her, one that is kind of unnerved by the moment? Maybe I don't want to say the moment, but from the moment being too big. Has it always been an even keel kind of person that's able to handle those big moments?
Oh, for sure. And you may hear from my wife later, but I think that a lot of the parents in our community, in the schools, the teachers and so forth, are not surprised where Kendall is today. They saw a spark, they saw a uniqueness, and they saw someone who really didn't mind that the light could get big, and shine on her. She's poised, she's comfortable in her skin, and is prepared, so we're happy to see her have an opportunity for the radio show here. I think the community up there will definitely grow to love her based on what they see on TV, what they can hear more so in a radio format. But this is exactly where she said she was going to go, and she did it.
Absolutely. As we're here now. And again, I can't stress enough, it's going to be fun as school's starting back up here. This is the perfect time for the show to get up and running, as we'll hear from multiple different athletes. Are coaches in the playbook as well for you?
Yeah,
so
I think. Yeah.
There you go. Maybe even some coaches. Kendall, I'll ask you this before we get to your mom on that last segment, because I think it is important to understand the family of the people as we're talking about why it's important to understand the narratives. What are some of the attributes you got from your dad that you think have really propelled you to where you're at right now?
Oh gosh. So many things. I feel like I couldn't do anything I do without their support. I always know that I kind of like what he said. I do like to make a lot of decisions on my own, but I know they are always in the back supporting me. There was never a time where I'm like, oh, will my parents be okay with this? Will they want me to go into broadcasting? It was always whatever you want to do. Like, we're right here in your corner. So, and just his athletic background, like he was talking about, and so many different things he's learned in his career and in business that have really shaped the way that I think. And so his influence has been amazing for me. And like, I'm an emotional person, but I'm not going to cry. No, but I'm so grateful. I couldn't be, but I would definitely want to be anywhere where I am without him. So yeah.
Absolutely. And Willie, I'll ask you one more thing, and we got to get to our last break here. Give us one thing that we should all know about. One more final thing that we should all know about Kendall as she's debuting the show tonight, and will be every Wednesday at 8 p.m.
I think everybody needs to be ready to tune in, buckle up, and listen, because she's going to bring some content, some information from her vast network of people. She's a young person, but her network and contact base is very, very wide. So if it comes to getting the scoop or just, other detailed information that your community will love to hear, she has the ability to go get it and bring it to your listeners.
Absolutely. That is good and proper praise. And I'm not just saying that. Obviously, before she started the show, we got the resume. Definitely got some accolades on there that would recognize what you're saying. So, Willie, we appreciate the time for this second segment here on the debut of Off the Field with Kendall Lanier. Before we go anywhere, we got the second guest coming up. Who do we got on that third segment, Kendall?
Yes, my mom, Kelly Lanier. She'll be as amazing as well. So looking forward to her.
Absolutely. We'll hear from the mom next. Don't go anywhere. We'll keep it rolling on Take a Weeknights.
This is James Harrell with NP Dodge Real Estate. When I became a licensed realtor, I wanted a brokerage that would help me grow in my new career. I found that in Lincoln First Realty. When Lincoln First was acquired by NP Dodge, the training and support I received only got better. I love knowing I have the power of the NP Dodge brand behind me. I would recommend NP Dodge to new agents looking to jumpstart their real estate career and to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
The Link Grill, Draft, and Crafts is your spot in Southeast Lincoln for great food and drink. They're serving new menu items and a killer craft cocktail menu with your favorite draft beers. You'll love their pizza and new entree options. It's a great place to watch any live events, and they have music bingo every month. They have an aggressive loyalty program that rewards fans with 7% back on all purchases. Home of the Nebraska Power Hour every night from 8 to 9 p.m. Order online at thelnkgrill.com or stop in at 84th and Highway 2 today.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier Kawasaki dealership. Score up to $2,000 off the brand new Kawasaki Ridge. Built for work or play, the Kawasaki Ridge takes off-road comfort to a whole new level. Rule the streets on an Indian motorcycle with customer cash and trade-in credits up to $2,000 during the month of August. On or off-road, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of motorcycles and side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl Jordan with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Picture this. You're in the doghouse and flowers just won't cut it this time. Enter jewelry, the ultimate peace offering. It's a gesture that speaks volumes, showing her you're willing to go the extra mile to make things right. So next time you're in the doghouse, remember, diamonds are a guy's best friend too. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Hello, Charlie Stone here, and joining me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I was noticing on your website, you have more than 150 new 2024 and 2025 Hondas in stock right now.
Yes, we do, Charlie. It's neat when you drive by and see all the cars on our lot, and we have most all models and all different colors available. And we even have more than hundreds on the way. We also have the all-new, all-electric 2024 Honda Prologue in stock right now. We have a few of them to choose from. Plus, qualified buyers get financing from just 1.9% APR.
How about your pre-owned selection?
I talked to a lot of my customers and friends, and they still think that we just sell brand new Hondas, but we sell all different models, make of pre-owned cars, and we have more than 100 to choose from right now.
Well, maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Hey, Husker Nation. This is Todd Euler, two-time national champion
Lincoln, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Anderson Ford, Tanner's Bar and Grill, Tavern 180, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Vinnie Kreekak of State Farm Insurance, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You can get diesel anywhere, but what about Atomic Diesel? That comes from Stern. Atomic Diesel is your solution to all your cold weather problems. Prevent clogged fuel filters, increase your fuel economy, and save money with Atomic Diesel. Contact Roger at Stern today by calling 1-800-477-2744 to see how Atomic Diesel and the rest of their line of fuels and lubricants can keep your operation running at max capacity.
Hi, this is Pastor Tom. Did you know there's a place kids can seek out help when they're away from home and something goes wrong? They find themselves in a difficult spot or even a dangerous situation. Maybe another child is bullying them or a stranger is following them. Perhaps on a date and things just go bad. In Lincoln, here's where they can find help. It's called Safe Place. Safe Place is a national program for children taking place in thousands of cities across the United States. The People City Mission is sponsoring this program in our community and has set up a number of businesses, fire stations, schools, and nonprofits around the city to become safe locations where kids can seek out help. They just need to look for the big yellow sign that says Safe Place on it. Then go inside and ask for help. We will be quickly connected to them and ensure they make it back home or to whatever resources are needed. If you'd like to find out more about Safe Place and ways in which you can get involved, just go to pcmlincoln.org. Remember, when we all do a little, we change a lot.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those round trips, which are perfect on your way there and perfect on your way back? Or those meetings with friends, surprise parties, camps, birthdays. The same way you plan for the important moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation right now at appliedconnective.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
September 17th, 1994 was the first what? Let me think for a second.
Game against UCLA, number 13 UCLA in town. College game day was here, but that's not what he's talking about.
I played in that game. I had a couple carries in that game. You can give it to you? Please give it to me. September 17th, 1994 was the first year of the tunnel walk, and it has been going on for 3 decades later. I was there, but you don't. It was a blur. It was all a dream.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to The Ticket weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back in. A third and final segment of the debut of Off the Field with Kendall Lanier. We got the host, as always. Well, what's going to be, as always, to my left. And if you guys want to join in, any last-second comments, use the Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. And some programming notes. We will still have the Malone radio show with Michael Hunter, John Goodwin. They, as always, will go from 9 to 10 o'clock to keep ticket weeknights going. But before we get to our guest on the Allo VIP line, I'll throw it over to Kendall and let her tease it. Kendall, who do we got coming up here?
We have my mom, Kendall Lanier. How are you?
Hello there. I'm doing great.
Hi. Well, I'm so happy to have you be on the show for the debut. And just in spirit of the show, talking about off the field things, I always remember you coming to me and my sister's games and being so passionate in the crowd, like when we would mess up or anything like that. So how were you always such a good cheerleader? I know you also cheered in college and everything like that. So what has that supportive role been like for you in sports?
Okay. Yes, I was a high school cheerleader and cheered in college as well. So I just brought that to my girls. I was always their biggest cheerleader because I wanted them to shine and always feel, have a great self-worth. So I knew that could always happen through sports that you all played. And I was right there making sure you guys were shining.
Yeah. And I went to Howard in Washington, D.C. You went to Hampton in Virginia. And you know all about that East Coast, like that type of sports. And then moving to Kansas City, being a Chiefs fan, just growing up on the East Coast and being a Ravens fan, and then now supporting the Chiefs. What has it been like being in those fan bases?
And being in that area?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it was a struggle, with the rivalry of going to Hampton and then you going to Howard. That was the biggest rivalry. And then, supporting Kansas City and then the Ravens is always, that big challenge of which one am I going to support? But, I have to go where my heart is. And, I had to make a tough decision. So, I have to support you, but I always have to go where my heart is. So that might be Hampton, and then also might be with my Ravens. So it's tough. It's tough, even coming from the household. Willie growing up being a Kansas City fan. But you got to stick to your ground.
Yeah, we have our fun, playful banter with the HU rivalries.
That's right.
Talk about more. Just you're a big WNBA fan now, and just being in the women's sports world, so many things are happening off the field. Why is it important, you think, to know who the player is behind the game?
Oh, I think it's amazing right now what's going on with the WNBA. Even though it's been out there for years, just now everybody's just really realizing how strong women are in the world of sports. So I'm glad to see women shining on and off the courts. And you just want to hear all of the background and everything they've gone through, the hard work they've gone through, and the mental toughness that they have to have. So it's great to hear women tell their stories. And so we can all be very inspired by them. And I hope it inspires young girls everywhere.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I got to ask, since you guys are talking about the banter, what does the household conversation look like around dinner? Are you guys just arguing about sports and colleges and teams?
Well, we do like to have our conversations. We bring up the topic of the day, like whether the controversy, there's always something and everyone puts in their 2 cents. So yeah, it gets a fun back and forth going.
What was the toughest
That's
controversy?
right. We're competitive.
I got to ask, what was the toughest controversy that maybe supper got a little heated that night?
What do you think, Mom? I'm trying to think of some recently. I feel like Caitlin Clark stuff, that was always big. Like,
absolutely.
You just the Angel Reese, that whole conversation, like they're both great players, but like it doesn't even need to be an Angel or Caitlin, So I feel like we all kind of agreed on that one, but that's always like a very passionate conversation. Like everyone tries to put the women athletes or male athletes like against each other, and it's just like, everyone can shine in their own right.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you guys talk about that, I just can't help but think my family, my parents in particular, big time Lakers fans. I should say Kobe Bryant fans, because the big controversy was LeBron James became the next Laker. The Kobe Bryant, LeBron James rivalry got heated around the table. But with that being said, I want to learn about some of the things that Kendall may be too humble to say herself, as she did leave out that she went to Howard on the very first segment. But Kelly, what are some things about Kendall that everybody should know about, and just some really good attributes that have kind of led her to the success she's having now?
Yeah, great attributes about Kendall is that, she's very inquisitive. She wants to know the inside story, and she has empathy for people that, their hard work that they put in to do well as an athlete. I don't think that everybody always understands how much work goes into it. And she knows she's very empathetic, and she wants people to shine. So she wants to be able to tell that story for others to see, how they're shining and how they want, she wants them to win in life and win in the athletic field. So I think that's the biggest thing for her.
Absolutely. And did you see this coming when she started to kind of get into this field? Like at what point did this become a reality of Kendall really starting to take off in this particular career path?
Yeah, I think she's always so inquisitive with her dad, just asking, what was it like in the locker room? Was there a lot of jabbing at each other and, them always joking around in the locker room? So just the inquisitive parts and all their questions she would ask. So just seeing that was very funny. She was very inquisitive and wanted to have, all those questions answered.
Do you remember that? Being the kid that questions everything?
Yeah, even to this day, like I'll ask my grandparents things and like, my gosh, like so many questions. But I mean, I guess that's why I'm in the journalism field. So it all works out.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And then when it came down to the decision for you to go to college, Kelly, how were you guys involved in that process? Because just by getting from these two segments we've had, obviously with Willie in the last one, you guys seemed like a very close family. So how was that process for you guys? Obviously letting Kendall kind of decide where she wants to go, but you guys still being involved in some sort of guidance.
Oh, it was tough because, like I said, we're a very competitive family. Willie just knew he had her hooked on James Madison University. He took her there all the time for the homecomings. And then with Hampton University, I took her to the campus and showed her how beautiful it was. So we both thought we had her hooked on our own school. And she gave us a zinger. And she said she was going to Howard University. So neither one of us won. She won on that, and she did well.
Yeah. I feel like, I feel like I'm a city person at heart, so I couldn't say no to DC. Kind of what we were saying earlier about New York. Like any city environment, that's where I'll thrive. So
yeah, absolutely. And, we got a little bit more time here on this first segment. So what I want to kind of dive into here is some more of that family dynamic. So is there anybody else in your family that has the background that you have? Or Kelly, I'll ask you this, is Kendall kind of the first one that had in this particular path? Obviously you had athletes, but she's going down the media path, or has this been other members in your family kind of in that same branch?
Her sister, very strong in her sport. She played lacrosse at University of California, Berkeley. So she was D1 athlete and played lacrosse all 4 years. I coached her in lacrosse. I coached Kendall in lacrosse as well. She chose to be in dance, more of her thing. But both of them were very much into their sports and the competitive. So her sister was right there with her, and she's doing very well in her career. And she's learned all those things from her sports in order to do well in business.
Yeah, maybe we should have had her on for the first segment.
I know. She'll have to come back. I mean, off the field, she's still doing great things outside of the sport. So, never know.
Well, we got time for 2 more questions, and we can just tell her to go back on YouTube and rewatch this part. And you guys can both chime in, but what are some of the attributes that you really credit your sister to kind of helping you develop?
Oh my gosh, so many things. I think she's older than me. So she kind of was paving the way, and I was like always right in her shadow. We both went to the same high school, so she was like 2 grades above me, and like we would hang out in school and people would be like, you guys see each other at home? I'm like, yeah, I mean, we're like best friends. So I think that really like shaped our bond. Like we always had each other. And so her being in sports was also really inspired me, because she played soccer in high school and almost played it in college as well. So she was always doing so many different sports and so competitive and shows so much passion for her sport. So I love the energy she put out. And that kind of led to me to want to be around the game more and lacrosse. I mean, that's also a sport that's not like huge in the Midwest. But she, being from Kansas City, she went out to California where it's, a lot bigger there. So her playing an unconventional sport, I guess, in some people's eyes, also made me want to dive into other sports like just are a little more maybe smaller than like the basketball, football, that kind of thing.
Right. And then Kelly, what was, from the parents' perspective, what was it like watching those two kind of grow up?
Oh, wow. I think that they really pushed each other. Of course, Cameron, her older sister, always thought that she was the stronger athlete, but Kendall wanted to prove that she was just as strong. She was younger, but she was strong. So they would get in some battles, and Cameron was pretty surprised when Kendall would end up sometimes winning. So physically, Kendall was very strong. So it was nice to see that she could hold her own. So yeah, she wanted to keep up with big sis.
And to wrap things up here, 5 minutes left, and not even that. I hear you guys are going to be heading down to Lincoln, right, Kendall? What is the possible date for that?
Yes, Friday. They're coming in.
Okay, so Kelly, I'll ask you, what are you most excited about when you come down to Lincoln?
Oh, wow. I am looking forward to seeing that volleyball team. I'm excited. I know the history. It was great seeing this show come on ESPN this week. And so I am just rooting for them to go all the way. So it's going to be very supportive of that volleyball team.
And Kendall, what are you going to show them in Lincoln? So many great places.
I know.
You got to show them the highlights of it.
I know. The last time they came was in February, and it was all cold. And, not exciting. So I'm excited for them to see. They'll go to the volleyball game and the football game, see that atmosphere. It'll be really hot this time. So, but yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of, Haymarket is so fun. They'll have to be in that energy. And I don't know. I'm such a foodie. So I love.
Have you tried Momo's?
That's my favorite place.
Okay.
Yes, that's so
okay.
funny.
Love
I've taken them there before. They love it as well. So I'm like, we got to expand though. We always go to the same place. So.
That's tough. That's always the one I try to expand people to. Because I don't want to cut out Momo's. It is really good.
It is Blue Sushi.
Love Momo's.
That's a good one. Blue Sushi. Have you been there?
I have been to Blue Sushi. Not kind of my style of food.
Okay.
But it was good. I ate it all. It was fine. I think if you're into that kind of sushi stuff, that's always one everybody raves out. So definitely check that one out. Yeah. But is this the first football game that they'll get to see?
This is. I'm like, you have to come for a volleyball and football game. So it's perfect. It's Friday, Saturday, back to back. So they'll get their full Lincoln fix. Yeah.
Okay. So the first sporting event, or were they at any sporting event before?
Went to basketball in February. They went to a basketball game.
Okay.
So yeah.
Very cool. Kelly, what are you most looking forward to for volleyball, and then most looking forward to for football?
I'm most looking forward to volleyball because I know, those girls' stories now, hearing some of the story inside scoop from them. But you know what? The Huskers and their great history as well. So I'm really excited. And I hear the crowd is going to be crazy. So I love to be a part of that crazy crowd.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. So Kendall, I'll ask you this as we kind of wrap things up here, since we kind of get in the attributes. What are some of the things you credit your mom for to get you to this point today?
Yeah. A lot of people tell me and my mom, we talk alike and we're a lot alike. So I feel like I get a lot of my personality from her. And I feel like she's always just been such a kind-hearted person. And, I think I try to treat people the way she treats people, just with always such a kind attitude, and always just very aware and knows who she is, and has never needed any sort of like validation or anything. She's just walks in and owns the room. So I think her confidence and everything she strives to be as a woman is I would love to be half that. So I'm so grateful for everything she's done to support me and pave the way for me. So yeah.
Absolutely. Kelly, we appreciate the time joining us tonight for the debut of her show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's been great.
Absolutely. So there you have it. There we got to meet Kendall's mom and father tonight, both of them, Willie and Kelly. And this should be a lot of fun. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m., we will have Off the Field with Kendall Lanier, and we'll have some student athletes, maybe some coaches as well in the mix. And do you have any idea what we're thinking for that first guest yet? Can we tease it, or is it still up in the air?
It's still up in the air. I don't
Okay.
want to, put something out and disappoint everyone, but it will be an exciting athlete. I think we're really honing in on football season right now. So probably bank on it being a football athlete. Good conversation. So it'll definitely be a great time on off the field. So tune in Wednesdays and just kind of to dive into multiple different conversations that make them who they are as a player. So yeah.
Yep. And with that being said, I will say when we get those guests, when we're official and we can tease it, we'll put it on our Twitter. So just follow at 93.7 The Ticket. Kendall, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Kendall_Lanier.
Absolutely. Go ahead and give her a follow and be sure to tune in every Wednesday, 8 p.m. for Off the Field with Kendall Lanier. But don't go anywhere. Take a weeknight still rolling. We got the Malone radio show with Michael Hunter, John Goodwin up next. They will go from 9 to 10 o'clock before we wrap things up. Appreciate you guys listening, and we'll do it again tomorrow.